Hello, hello. This is David, and I'd like to do a video today on character matters. That's been kind of a little bit of a popular two-word indication in the last political election here in the United States. Some people don't feel that character does matter. Other people have a high priority on character matters. What I'd like to do is kind of go in my own mind and publicly hear some of the things that I've seen in my lifetime with my own eyes, my own ears, not something that I've read evil, apostate books or people who have an axe to grind. I have no axe to grind. I have no motivation. I've got 2,000 videos that basically have expressed my experience in the Mormon church. I've gone to seminary 4 years. I graduated at BYU. I've been in elders quorum presidencies. I've worked in the Los Angeles Temple. So I have a little bit of background of 50 plus years knowing about the Mormon church. Here's where I kind of have some problems. And this is why, partially, I've resigned years ago from the Mormon church, twice. I resigned twice. Let me go to Joseph Smith. Quote, the prophet. Here is a man that claimed that Jesus Christ and God the Father appeared to him. And Jesus said that all churches on the earth were an abomination. I've read the King James Version of the Bible a couple of times, and the Urantia book, which I use a lot in guiding my life currently. And the word abomination, I don't think is a word that Jesus would have said to any man, anywhere, at any time. I look at the way Jesus interacted with positive ways of the world and negative things that he said about the world. And I don't remember Jesus ever saying that people were assholes, fuck-ups, that they were in any way the word abomination. That doesn't seem to be in the Christ vocabulary that I know about. Maybe you're different. Maybe you know more about Jesus. Maybe you've read more about Jesus. And as an LDS person, you believe that Joseph Smith was told by Jesus, the God of love, of understanding, of kindness, of tolerance, of morality, that he would appear to a 12-year-old boy and say that all churches are an abomination to him. Now, this first vision was never a first vision. It was the second vision, the third vision, the fourth vision, and for many, many years, at least 6 years, it wasn't even mentioned that Christ had appeared to Joseph Smith. I have to look at character. Character to me has a lot to do with who I want to associate with, who I want to follow as a leader. To me, character is like integrity. They're very intertwined in my life. Integrity is what a man will do when nobody will know. Will a man do what's right because it's the right thing to do? Or does he measure what he does dependent upon, is he going to be exposed? Is it going to become public? Is it going to be humiliating, embarrassing? To me, the character of Joseph Smith from the get-go is something I don't want to follow. I don't want to lead, and I don't want my children and family and friends to believe and follow that kind of a character. From the time that he was 12 years old, he was a liar. God did not appear to him. He said God appeared to him, then Jesus appeared to him, then an angel appeared to him, and it goes on and on and on. From the get-go, this young man was a liar. a fabricator, a narcissist, a person who basically had all kinds of character flaws. Well, many times people with severe character flaws rise to powerful positions. They can make a lot of money. They can be successful in sales and the corporate world, etc. But right from the beginning, at 12 years old, you think that this young man had some emotional problems, some mental problems, and some narcissistic tendencies, to say the least. And he was lazy. He didn't work. He didn't have a job. He didn't have a trade. He put magic rocks in hats and went around to the community saying that he could find gold, precious gems, metals, and that you pay him whatever, 10, 20 bucks, whatever the price was in those days, and he would look on your land. He never found anything, but he took your money. He never refunded money. He had no warranty. He never said, well, if I don't find gold or valuable things, I'll give you your money back. He didn't. He kept their money. So from the get-go, this character of this individual, to me, is very suspect. Very suspect. He doesn't work. He doesn't tell the truth. When there's pressures in life, he finds ways to evade the law. He was always in trouble with the law. He was arrested several times. He was jailed several times. And when he got married to Emma Smith, he wanted to have extra pussy. And he then went to Emma and said that he had an angel appear to him who had a flaming sword and threatened Joseph's life. That if he didn't have intercourse with 14-year-old, 16-year-old, 18-year-old girls and marry 30 different women, spiritually or otherwise, that he would be destroyed, killed. Well, rather than wanting to be killed, he said to himself, well, gee, maybe it's a good idea that I do what the angel said to me, engage in polygamy, and then tell Emma that if Emma doesn't agree with this bullshit, that she'll be killed too. Let's intimidate Emma with a false prophet, a false aberration of an angel with a flaming sword. Well, I just have to say from the get-go that if I could step out of my Mormon past, step out of my college education, step out of my experience in life, if someone came to me and told me about a man, a young man, a teenager, that engaged in these kinds of things, I would have more red flags, more reservations about following this person. When this person said that he had all of these visions, that Nephi and Moroni appeared to him, and God the Father and Jesus Christ appeared to him, I would shake my head and say, gosh, I think this is bullshit. I really do. I think it's bullshit. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't work for a living. He doesn't really support his family with his labor. And then on top of it, the same person said that Nephi basically told him there were some gold plates in the ground. Well, what are the chances that the ancient gold plates of the Latin American people would be right there in Palmyra, New York? Kind of a coincidence. No, it's not a coincidence. It's a fucking lie. I'm sorry. I'm at an age and stage where I don't have to accept shit anymore. For an angel to say that he had gold plates hidden in the ground, that was a history of the ancient peoples of Lamanites, Latin American people, is bullshit. I know it's bullshit. At the time, years ago, when I was young, I thought, well, God, maybe. And now I'm going, God damn it, no. Well, then, the angel said he couldn't take the plates right away. Of course, here's a young man who searched for gold, rubies, emeralds in the ground and charged people for it. And now he's got whatever, a 6 by 11 stack of gold plates. But rather than selling the gold plates and making a living and using them to support his family and himself, he decided and was instructed supposedly to translate in a language that doesn't exist. He called it Reformed Egyptian. He made that shit up. The Rosetta Stone proved that Joseph Smith was, again, a liar, a cheater, and a thief. And then he published a made-up fantasy book and attributed the content of the book to the gold plates. Well, then no one ever saw the gold plates. The people who say they saw them finally admitted that they never really saw them with their real eyes. They saw them with their, quote, spiritual eyes. I'm sorry, folks. The character matters. Character matters. This is, and I used this term yesterday in one of my videos. I worked construction for many years in Los Angeles in high-rise construction buildings, and in construction, our language there was, we would call this a cluster fuck. That's where everybody is naked, getting together, and everybody is screwing everybody. That is a very descriptive word and term for the life of Joseph Smith. It was a constant clusterfuck. Everybody fucking everybody and not having to take any responsibility for it. So in summarizing character matters, I don't think Joseph Smith had any damn character. I just don't. I've been everywhere that Joseph Smith has been, except in Nancy Helen Mar Kimball's vagina. That's the only place I haven't been that Joseph was. I've been in Sharon, Vermont. I saw where he was born. I've been to Kirtland. I've seen the Kirtland Temple. I have been in Liberty Jail. I've been in Carthage Jail. I've been in the Sacred Grove. I've been in Nauvoo. I've been in the Mansion House in Nauvoo. Been Independence, Missouri, the Temple Lot. It's not like I'm just throwing this stuff out of my head, shooting from the hip. I do my homework. I do my due diligence. This is a man who should have been in jail, and probably, if other men acted, which they have, the way he did, they're going to be assassinated. The local community tarred and feathered him. This is not a credible human being. This is a man who is a liar, a cheater, a thief, a polygamist. He screws young girls. He takes advantage of women. He takes advantage of men. He makes stories up as he goes. And the vulnerable and the marginal people gave him money, like Brigham Young. Brigham Young didn't have a damn job. Well, Brigham Young was a glazer, but I don't know how much money he made from glazing, but I knew that he was able to withdraw from the funds of the church at his will. Some of it he paid back, not all of it. So Joseph Smith, as far as character matters, to me is an absolute diametrically opposed leader. This is not a man that I would have lead me across the damn street. He was unreliable. He made things up as he goes. He changed things in the Doctrine and Covenants and the Book of Mormon. Hundreds and thousands of changes of a book that he said is the most correct book that has been on the face of the earth. I think character matters. Now, this is not a disclaimer. This is not an exception but it's none of those things. As a human being, I and every human being I've ever met has mistakes, has character flaws. No human being that I've met, including myself, has an absolute immunity to saying things or doing things that are incorrect, that are self-serving, that are narcissistic, that are paranoia. There are no situations where I've seen human beings not have flaws. Now, if you and I have a few character flaws, maybe like we eat too much, that we indulge ourselves, that's a character flaw. And we can't measure how many character flaws are serious, how many are not serious. That's judgment. That is something that we all measure. But most of us who have character flaws try to improve them. I ordered my medication yesterday, Eccentric, for being fat, trying to help me get back down again in weight. I think that we all have to accept a certain amount of character flaws in ourselves that we struggle with, and in others that we can say yellow flag, red flag, or green flag. To me, Joseph Smith goes beyond a few character flaws. It seems that he's rotten to the core. It just seems he's fucking rotten to the core. And it's taken me 80 years of studying him and looking at his life and whatever. Now, the other thing that I would close this video with is character matters, but by their fruits ye shall know them. There's a biblical reference to trees, agriculture, that a tree cannot bear good fruit if it's not a good tree. Well, look what he's left behind. He's left behind an organization that lies about how many members it has, lies about its role in Christ-like activities. They lie, they cheat, they steal. They have, FLDS, which is sprung off from the Mormon Church, certainly had its basis with Brigham Young and Joseph Smith. A tree cannot bear good fruit if it's a bad tree. And it was and is a bad tree. The Mormon Church does not have good fruit. It has some rows of fruit that have been commendable in certain areas and disaster relief. There's been times the Mormon Church has basically fed me, that they've paid my rent, they've given me food, they've made a car payment. They have done some good things in my life and the life of other Mormons and non-Mormons. There's been times that the Mormon Church has been charitable in a small occasion to people. But look at the overall. It's kind of like, a house. Is the house of the Mormon Church the house of the Lord? No. They don't help the poor. They have $300 billion hidden away from the government. They did that by having poor moral character. The 12 apostles and the first presidency have approved hiding that money, the SEC fine and money. They have all this money and they don't feed hungry children. They don't help the sick, the poor, the homeless. So a tree cannot bear fruit that it's a bad tree. Joseph Smith was a bad man. I've never said that before. That's a very simplistic sentence. Character matters. Joseph Smith had no moral character. The community tarred and feathered him. The constant upheaval and chaos and drama in the early Mormon Church was earned. It wasn't Satan trying to stop the true church being restored. That is bullshit. The things that Joseph Smith said, the things that he did, caused his wives, his friends, the community to hate him and to retaliate, putting hats with rocks in them to find treasure, to deceive the community, to get leg bail of the judges saying, get the hell out of our town, our county. You're a liar. You're a chief a cheat, and a thief. They all fit Joseph Smith. So I'm sorry. He did not have good moral character. In fact, he had no moral character. He just pretty much fucked everybody and everything that he said and he did. And now the organization left over from that cluster fucking that he did continues. It continues. The general authority, Holland, he can't seem to know the truth if it ran him over in the street. He says things and does things, and the other authorities, the Big 12, do and say things that aren't true. The membership numbers and when I was at BYU, the experimenting with homosexual men, trying to get them aversion therapy, and they're saying he didn't do that. He did do that. He did do that. He's following exactly the pattern that Joseph Smith laid down. If you're a liar, you're a cheater, you're a thief, if you're a politician, if you're a scammer, you're going to raise yourself up high in the Mormon church. That's why I'm on the bottom of the ladder. I just can't do that. I just can't do that. To me, character does matter. Do people have to be perfect? Certainly they do not have to be perfect. I'm certainly nowhere near perfect. I have, sitting here in front of the camera, character flaws. But I take responsibility for that. I admit it. It's a fact and the truth that I overindulge. I overeat. I like my potato chips. I like my Coke. I like my Hershey bars. And I'm struggling with that. And I'm admitting that. What does Nelson or Holland or Oakes admit to? I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard them when they go to a general conference. Character, to me, matters. I want to follow men who are honest, who may not be perfect. They may have some narcissistic character flaws. But if their entire character is a flaw, I don't want anything to do with them. I'm willing, and I think you're willing, to accept that all men and women have moral weaknesses. They may have judgment weaknesses. We're learning. That's why we're here. We're learning. But I'm not going to follow a character flaw. The whole thing is a character flaw. I think the Mormon church is evil. I think that it's satanic. I think they talk all the words of Jesus, but the behaviors are not there. The behaviors are not there. And the tree of Joseph Smith, the fruit from that tree is evil, is bad fruit, is rotten to the core. So anyway, I just wanted to leave this with you, that Joseph Smith and character matters. To me, I can't follow a leader like that. You can. You can. How does that hurt me? I don't have to prove the Mormon church isn't true. I don't have to prove the Mormon church is true. I don't have to do any of that. I just look at the fruit, the low-hanging fruit of the tree, and the fruit that's on the ground. I'm not going to buy it. You can buy it if you want. Everyone has their freedom. Thanks.